So this is August 12th, 2019. And by the way, that was my art calendar. Just waking up. That sun is really pretty this morning coming in through the blinds. I especially love how it kind of makes little lines across the wall. The small things. Look at Langston's little face. He's kind of out of it. So I'm going to wear this. Oh my God, I actually have holes in my underwear but I'm just going on the elliptical. Got to get my steps in. I'm trying to get a mile in before I start the day. And Langston, meanwhile, likes to get his trampoline time in. And he always puts on this same little rhythm thing. That's so, like, he just leaves it on that rhythm the whole time. But anyway. So Nala wants inside. She's always waiting at the back door in the morning. She likes to come in, get some pets, get some love, go eat her breakfast. So that's what she's up to this morning. She jumps up on command. She does little tricks. Langston's still jumping. He loves this movie, Monsters vs. Aliens. It's one of his favorites. So that's his exercise. I get on the elliptical, but he gets on the trampoline in the morning. And now it's bath time.
Oh my goodness. You guys are rubbing that. What you doing? You need a bath, Nala? You need a bath? Okay.
So it is kind of chilly this morning. It's 56 degrees. So I think I'm going to wear a sweater. And my sweater is wrinkled. So this is my little ironing board setup. And I'm going to wear these jeans. They are Massimo jeans, stretch, size 8 or waist 29. Couple of earrings and a bracelet set out with some shoes as well. So that's my outfit for the day since it's kind of chilly. This is Langston's little outfit, most importantly. So he gets out of the bath and it is time for us to get dressed and get on with the day. He's so cute right out of the bath. I just love it. And I always do his hair while it's wet. I put this Shine and Hold Shea Moisture Spray and just brush it out with a paddle brush. And he's super cute, his little curls. He is eating popcorn. I don't know why, but he's eating popcorn this morning. So that's what he has for breakfast. Listen to a little bit of Kendrick Lamar on our trip down to Langston's morning program. And there are a lot of beautiful trees on our drive. And we get there and just wait for a few minutes before his program starts. He just has a 3-hour program in the morning for the next week or so. Some of the little kids aren't super happy to be dropped off, but he did a good job today. So walking out to the car, time to go grocery shopping. Need to get groceries. We're out of almost everything. I also found some pretty reasonably priced flowers too. So I'm going to put those in a vase. I like to put flowers in the vases that Franklin made in ceramics. And I always, of course, cut my rose stems underwater at an angle and add the stuff that keeps the flowers preserved. You want to cut the stems underwater at an angle so that they don't get a bubble in the stem when you cut them, and they last so much longer. So these are really pretty. That way your roses will open up instead of just dropping their heads. So I actually worked at a little florist shop when I was a teenager, part-time. So I learned a few things about flowers. Moving on to a much more serious note, I was reading this article about a school in Georgia that was basically banning hairstyles as part of its dress code. So banning braids, braided styles, and even haircuts for boys that had like a design or, fancier line or taper, fade, and whatever. So I was kind of just discouraged by that. I feel like we shouldn't be regressing on these issues. And then I went on to actually look up the disciplinary actions for dress code violations, which upon 3 violations, you can have 10 days of in-school suspension. All of these things actually are, from my opinion anyway, super ridiculous when it comes to hair, because any of these styles would last a whole lot longer than 3 days, so especially braids. And it's just time to honor and respect traditions that existed before the United States was even a country. I mean, come on. So these things, in my opinion, shouldn't be legislated and also shouldn't be a part of discrimination in schools. But I've got to keep things moving on with my day. I have to make a little bit of money to pay the bills, so I've got to take a little cameo job online. So I put on a red shirt because I'm actually going to do a little cameo video for somebody. So I kind of like to do my makeup a little bit more for that. And I'm going to set out the things I'm going to use. So I'm going to use the Revlon liquid. It's just a liquid liner. I can't really tell the color. It's just a brown color. It doesn't really say a specific color. And also the apricot in the middle, Wet n Wild blush. Then I'm going to use the Revlon Color Stay Nude lip liner and a Fit Me matte poreless foundation, as well as a CoverGirl Advanced Radiance. It's a natural beige 120 color on that, and CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brown is the eyeliner for the lower lids that I'm going to use. And then I'm going to use a Amped Lashes Ulta Beauty mascara, as well as my nude palette for eyeshadow and a little bit for my eyebrows as well. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a color tone adjusting primer. And it's a green primer because I kind of have a little bit of red undertone in my skin today, so I feel like I kind of have yellow and red undertones, so it's kind of confusing as far as adjusting the color. But anyway, a little bit of green, because I feel like taking some of the red out is important if you're going to actually wear red, then you really don't want red in your skin. So I'm going to take out some of that with that green tone adjusting primer. And then I just like to put my foundation kind of on my hand. I don't use a lot of foundation, so and I really don't know how to contour, so I can't like make my face look like a whole different person basically with contouring. Some of that stuff is just super fancy. I always put a little bit of foundation here because I have like so many like not just freckles but also melasma from when I was pregnant with Langston. I have some dark patches like right under here and also right there from that pregnancy. So I'm gonna get just a little bit more of that foundation. So I know some of you are probably bored to death with a makeup session, and then others of you actually have asked to see my makeup routine, so that's kind of why I'm including it this time. I don't know, me personally, I kind of get bored with makeup videos to the point where I actually have never fully finished a video. I confess, I've never watched a whole makeup tutorial because it's just, you know, like not my thing. I'm not a makeup artist. So I just kind of get to the point where I tune out what's happening. Saw that little red dot on my nose, but it looks better with just a little bit of this, it's called Photo Ready. It's a concealer. So I do my foundation, and then I like to always do my eyebrows first because I feel like they're almost like one of the most important things. My eyebrows and my eyes, because I have these blonde, they go from brown to like blonde on this side. So I kind of have to fill them in with a little bit of brown eyeshadow. And I'm using this color out of the nude palette. I don't know exactly what color that is, but it's kind of a dark brown. And I feel like it goes well with the way my hair is right now, the color, the kind of like undercolor of this. So now I'm going to use a little bit of this gray tone for the base for my eyeshadow because I have hooded eyes, or so I've heard. So supposedly that's like a good color for a hooded eye. And then I like to use just a little bit of a darker color in the corner. I don't really do as much of a crease with that gray color as like the base. So that's in the corner. So I used this one and then this one for the corner, and then I'm gonna use this one for just the inside of my eye. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of that first color, that first gray, kind of underneath to try and get a little bit of a smoky eye. And full disclosure, I do have a few eyelash extensions on, and I get my eyelashes done by Alyssa at Sweet Peach in Spokane. She's super nice, and I think she does a great job. So they last, like when she does my eyelashes, you can kind of see them. They last for not only 2, 3, or 4 weeks like most do, but they last for at least 6 weeks, sometimes longer. So, yeah. So I like to use liquid eyeliner on my upper lid, the upper part of my eye. And I usually do it kind of like a little bit more extreme when I'm going to be doing a video or taking a photo, because it looks like more natural if you do it a little bit more extreme. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but that's really just, I don't know, it just looks better. Otherwise, if you do it super subtle, it just looks like you're not wearing any makeup and you didn't even try. So yeah, after I do my little video shout out, then I'm going to mail a signed copy of my book, which actually one of you guys ordered, one of my subscribers. Yay. So somebody who saw the YouTube video about me actually offering my books ordered one. So, but it was only one person, so the rest of you need to get on that. If you do not yet have a signed copy of my book, because I'm doing like an ongoing, basically online book signing for a limited time on my website, which means I'm offering signed copies of my book. And you can get yours as if you were going to, like, you know, if I was going to come to your city and do a book signing, some of you would probably show up to actually get a book signed, and then some of you might just want like a selfie or something with me, or just see me in person or whatever. So sorry I can't really do like custom selfies, but I do have also signed photographs on my website, 5x7s and 8x10s. So you can get a custom message on your photo as well. You just have to kind of tell me, like, if you're ordering a 5x7, I can't write a lot on the front of the photo. So if you're gonna write a message, a whole message on the photo, you might want to order an 8x10. Otherwise, you know, you can always just get like a 5x7 signed. And I probably should do more of an updated photo shoot, but after having a baby and all that stuff, and just all that life has thrown at me in the last several years, I don't know. I don't always feel that. I feel like I always look a little beat up or a little bit too heavy or a little bit too whatever. So that's my excuse for not doing a photo shoot in a while. So this is just a nude lip liner, and I feel like when you age, like the pigment around your lips kind of starts to get more of like a jaggedy line. Plus I have freckles, so it also makes the line less distinct. And then as usual, this side looks like a little bit bigger than this side. So I overdraw this side, and then I underdraw this side to try and even them out. All right, so, and I'm actually going to use my Chanel Monte Carlo. I think it's a number 62, but it's Monte Carlo Chanel. So that's the lip color I'm going to use, but that's actually in my car, so I have to go get that before I do my lips. But yeah, I feel a little bit more camera ready now. And I put in these little earrings because I feel like they kind of look cute. So I'm gonna do my cameo, and then I'm going to move on with my day and mail that book. And then I have to go get Langston from his program and keep everything moving forward. So this is the finished look. with also a little bit of color adjustment and everything on the photo. And then Franklin's up and he is making an omelet. He likes to cook omelets for breakfast. So I'm going to mail this package at the post office. And the post office that I went to is like under major construction. I don't even know. I don't really understand what they're even doing with this big hole in the ground. But anyways, I'll mind my own business. I also remember that I've got to pick up a piece of art that is at the frame shop that I put on order a few weeks ago. So I picked up this nice little framed piece from the frame shop. I actually have had this drawing since I was in college, and I've always really liked it. It's just kind of simple and very intimate, and I love this frame. It's a gorgeous frame, and this is the piece. It's called The Mourners, and it's just kind of like how people really gather together, you know, for a funeral or when somebody dies. It's kind of ironic that a death actually brings people together, sometimes who don't even really come together that often in life. But yeah, so this piece is now framed. So I get my framing done at the Bartlett Gallery. It's a really great little frame shop locally, and they just put so many great details into the work, like conservation glass, and I mean, it's really not cheap. Framing isn't cheap. So if you ever wonder why framed art is so expensive, or art in general is expensive, I mean, it's just really the details and the museum quality conservation considerations that really make the difference between a piece of art that's going to last versus a piece of art that might fall apart in 10 years. So I've got one more errand to run before I go pick up Langston. I have to go get some art supplies. I actually need to get a gray paper. So this is a paper I got, and a white and black charcoal pencil. And then while I am waiting to pick him up, I'm actually doing my parent homework. So these are some of the little like activity sheets that we do for the parenting class for his autism program. And yeah, it's just interesting. Like this particular one is dealing with catching your child being good, and then also scheduling playtimes, and just, you know, things that you can record data about how the interactions went and, you know, how it's working out. Another section is about planned ignoring, and so this one is kind of dealing with that, like kind of basically trying to shut down disruptive behaviors. So when to ignore your child but not the behavior, when to ignore the behavior but not your child, etc. It's kind of confusing to explain really quickly. But anyways, I have to do my homework, and then I'm gonna go in and pick him up, and I'm super excited. It's actually warmed up a lot today. So then Franklin figured out that he is out of contacts, and so we have to go to Idaho to get another set of contacts. Road trip, time for road trip. And then when we get back home, it is time for that afternoon nap. So I am nap trapped. And now it is time to make dinner. So I'm just going to make kind of a simple stir fry with some steak and chicken and mushrooms and broccoli and onions and garlic and green beans, and doing a little bit of a sauce, like a coconut milk, a little bit of peanut butter, soy sauce, spices, salt and pepper, type of sauce for it, and then put all that over rice. So Franklin loves stir fry, and it's pretty healthy and super filling. So this is the finished product, and I'm actually putting all of it in bowls, and then I just wrap it with saran wrap and put all the bowls in the fridge. So that's meal prep ready for him, so you can just grab a bowl, put it in the microwave when he's ready to eat. So now on to the exciting task of laundry folding. But the kids make all these little menial tasks worthwhile, right? I also decided I'm going to round out my steps for the day before it gets too late and push that over 10,000 steps. And then this is actually a piece of art that I sketched out, just an idea, like she died standing, just kind of as a perseverance message. But it's a really big canvas. I'm kind of torn between finishing this or turning it into an abstract, which in my studio there are all these pieces on the wall, different styles, different kind of flavors of art, but still all great pieces. Some of my art prints that are signed and ready to sell. So I'm going to be doing a drawing, like a larger drawing, and I don't really have a drawing table. So I've actually gotten this piece of plexiglass from an old poster frame that I found. So I'm going to be using it instead of a drawing board, just to make sure that the back, you always want to tape your paper down to a really smooth surface so that the back of it is on something that's not going to be textured, because whatever you draw on, that texture is going to come through the actual drawing itself. So you want to make sure that your surface is basically perfect before you start. So you tape down one side and then reach across and smooth that paper so that it's like stretched really evenly all the way over to that side. And then I tape down the other sides. This is a great way to actually tape down paper for watercolor or wet media, but also when you're working with even just dry media, it's good to have your paper secured on all four sides so that it doesn't move while you're drawing, and also just so that any kind of friction or anything that you do to the surface of the paper that may cause it to stretch a little bit is going to only stretch within the confines of these limitations. So it's basically not going to ever like buckle the paper, warp it, whatever you do to the surface. It'll always kind of, stay in the bounds of this smoothness. So I just put that piece of plexiglass on a little card table, and that is going to be where I do this drawing and put my supplies on the little stool. These are actually a couple pictures of pieces I did back when I was in college, and my alma mater actually collected that second piece, The Woman in the Door. So it's there at Belhaven College campus for anybody who stops by. So I just kind of got this sketch started. I'm actually sketching with the white and black charcoal that I bought at the store on that gray paper, because then you can draw the highlights and the shadows. So that's kind of a cool way of drawing. I haven't done that technique in a little while, so I'm looking forward to doing this piece. So I am working on a logo, so I need to make some revisions on this really simple little logo that I've designed and I'm doing for a client. And then it will be time for bed soon, but let me check in and see what the kids are up to. They are hanging out together. Franklin's eating an apple, and they are jumping on the trampoline and the couch.
Jumping!
So trampoline is a popular new item in our house right now. And Langston's still going strong on the trampoline. Meanwhile, of course, guess who's being forgotten? Nala has to always kind of insert herself when I'm talking about the kids. So time for pajamas, but more jumping. And Nala is going to turn up a little bit with her cat toys. She also likes to attack the corners of the carpet from time to time. She's funny. She said, what? She said, what? This is embarrassing. I wasn't trying to do that on camera. Langston's still, sometimes he'll stop jumping just to watch his movie and then start jumping back again. Oh, she's got the toy. She's going for it. So that concludes my day. I'm now ready for my bath, ready to turn the page and get on to Tuesday. So I'm going to try and edit this down on Tuesday and post it for you guys. And I hope you enjoy it. And guess what product I made with my photo today? So this is now in my Zazzle shop, since the mugs with a picture of me on them seem to be the most popular item in my Zazzle shop. So I decided to go ahead and create a new one for those mug lovers out there, whoever they are. So anyway, you can go to Zazzle.com and search for Rachel Dolezal and find my store and all the products there. So I will see you next time.